Okay, so you know how sometimes you find yourself like scrolling through those real estate sites,
Yeah.
just kind of daydreaming about like, what if I lived there?
Yeah, totally. I get that.
Well, today's deep dive is kind of for anyone who's ever done that. We dug into a short podcast episode
Uh-huh.
called Why Siloam Springs. It's from March 31st, 2025.
Okay.
So pretty recent, and we thought it'd be cool to like pull out the highlights.
Right.
The top reasons why Siloam Springs in Arkansas is maybe worth a second look.
So just kind of cutting to the chase for people?
Yeah, exactly. It's only like a
Yeah.
6-minute episode. So think of this as your like express lane to understanding why this little corner of Northwest Arkansas keeps popping up on people's radar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so the podcast jumps right in, and the first thing they talk about is affordable living.
Ah, the magic words, right.
Right, but like what does that actually mean
Right.
when you get down to
Well,
that?
what stood out to me was that they weren't just talking about like cheap houses, which, you might assume, but they were emphasizing the overall cost of living being way lower than in a lot of similar places. So think about it like maybe having more breathing room
Yeah.
in your budget for stuff beyond just, paying the bills.
That is definitely appealing.
Right.
Okay, so next up, the podcast goes right into outdoor adventures.
Oh, yeah.
And Northwest Arkansas is kind of known for that, right?
Definitely.
What did they specifically mention about Siloam Springs?
Well, they really emphasized like instant access to the Ozark Mountains.
I see.
So picture this. You got hundreds of miles of trails
Wow.
right there. Everything from like, chill nature walks to some pretty serious hikes with amazing views.
Nice.
They also mentioned the Illinois River, which is apparently a big deal for kayaking and fishing, and it's all just a short hop from Siloam Springs.
So you've got the affordability, you've got the nature. What's next?
So the third point they make is all about the charm of Siloam Springs.
Oh, chart. That's kind of a subjective thing, right?
It is, but they did a good job of painting a picture
Uh-huh.
of that classic small town vibe they talked about, a downtown area you can walk around
Yeah.
with, local shops, those cool independent coffee places, and like a real sense of community.
That's nice.
It's that kind of place where you bump into people and you actually feel connected to where you live.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and speaking of community, that was actually the next reason they brought up a strong sense of community.
Uh-huh.
How did they back that up?
They highlighted all these local events,
Okay.
farmers markets community,
Yeah.
get-togethers. It sounds like that's just part of life there.
Yeah.
And they made it seem like it's easy to get involved and feel like you belong,
Right.
which is huge for a lot of people who are thinking about moving somewhere new.
I bet. Okay, so we've got 4 solid reasons so far. What's the 5th?
The fifth one they highlighted was its location within Northwest Arkansas.
So it's not like you're out in the middle of nowhere. Exactly.
It's not isolated.
Yeah.
They were clear about that. They were saying Siloam Springs gives you a more relaxed pace,
Okay.
but you're still super close to all the bigger cities in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
The places with more job shop and all that stuff. Think Fayetteville, Bentonville. You can easily get to all of that without having the craziness right on your doorstep.
That's a good balance.
Yeah.
All right, so just to wrap up our little deep dive into this Why Siloam Springs podcast, they basically gave us 5 big reasons why you might consider moving there. Affordable living, tons of outdoor stuff, a charming small town vibe, a strong sense of community, and that sweet spot of being close to the action but not right in it.
And you know what? That brings up a good question for anyone listening. Like when you think about your ideal place to live,
Yeah.
which of those 5 things really speaks to you?
Hmm.
Maybe this has given you some food for thought as you're weighing your options, and maybe even inspires you to check out Northwest Arkansas a little more closely.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Thanks for diving in with me.
Yeah, this was fun.